Hey everyone, welcome back to OT with AP, week 5. Today we are talking about my PRN position at my skilled nursing facility that I am currently living out my truth in, because let me tell you, some days it's a hot mess. I am still learning, I am still grooving and trying to find my groove. So y'all were curious, so I will tell you. It's been really fun, but it's been also really hard. The adjustment of not working for a while, the adjustment of not treating for a while because I had my doctoral capstone, and then I had my time that I had to take for trying to pass boards. So just getting up early, being gone all day, having some kind of schedule like that has been different. I did try to set myself up for that before I started, which did help, but it's still an adjustment. That and a lot more physical lifting. So making sure to remember all those things I learned early on in school, body mechanics, lifting with your knees, not your back, remembering bed mobility, so bringing the bed up. I'm really tall, I'm 5'11", so making sure that bed is up to where you can treat your patient safely. But then also remembering to bring it back down when they're edge of bed so they're not like dangling off the bed. All the things that you kind of check the box, go. You get to the end, you graduate, you do these things, and you're like, dang, now I have to use them all like together. And yes, you do that in field work, but for us, like, I did have that gap between field work and doctoral capstone and then boards and then job. So for me, it was a lot of remembering and digging back into what I did, what I used to do, how my first SNF rotation looked. God, my hair is driving me nuts, I'm sorry. Don't mind me fiddling with my hair. It's been up all day and I put it down and now it's a mess, you know. I'm just gonna like chop it all off. It's fine. Anyway, so that's been a big adjustment, working on scheduling, getting up, the logistics of having a job, which sounds like it wouldn't be that bad, but it actually, I mean, I've been dealing with some hormone imbalance, tiredness, fatigue situation, so that doesn't make it any easier. But I will say, okay, so my facility, to get to the nitty-gritty of it, is a skilled nursing facility. It is mostly short-term care. We do have some long-term residents, but they're rather particular about which ones they accept because the facility has like a good reputation for doing rehab well and getting people back to where they are. So they don't like to take a lot of long-term residents unless they're going to be fairly high functioning, because there are places with more care, care means, I guess I should say, if they need that extra like dementia care, or memory care, that kind of thing. So we do keep a lot more people that are going to go home. Caseload wise, so I am the only other OTR, but I am PRN, so we have one full-time OTR. And so when I got hired on, she was very excited because she was like, great, now there's help with evals, and if I need like a day off, I can actually not have to come back to all these evals when I return, which is cool. They did previously, before COVID, have like 3 full-time, but now that census is low, they can't have that many full-time again yet. They're hoping to. PT and speech are also in the same gym. The gym is open to patients. They space them out with precautions and mask wearing. All of us wear N95s and face shields. The residents are supposed to wear their masks when they're in the hallway. And they also separate the new incoming residents from the residents who've been there for a while. So you've got like a square essentially in the first hallway. You used to be able to kind of walk around the whole thing, but now they've got it blocked, so it's slow one-way traffic, and the incoming residents will stay on this hall for 2 weeks and be tested, make sure they're good before they go into the rest of the facility. So while they're on that hallway, they stay in their rooms or on that hall with the mask, just to kind of help with prevention and all the things. So that's what that looks like. Caseload wise, based on us being like the OTRs, it depends on census. Sometimes we have, 4 or 5 admissions, sometimes we have 1. My caseload, because they don't have another full-time OT right now, I would say I get to go in most days, which I don't think is super typical for a PRN unless somebody's calling out or on vacation. So it was a good start for me, I feel like, to get hours that I want to practice, because ideally full-time would have been, you know, in a perfect world, what I wanted. So getting a lot of hours has been nice, but also being able to still like slowly ease into things. My boss has been really good about not just throwing me into the deep end. She's been really communicating with me, making sure that I'm handling everything okay, or that it's not too much or too little. I wouldn't say anything was ever too little. It's more just been slowly adding on to get more and more. So that's been nice. After taking such a long time between fieldworks, I was very thankful to have something that was slower to start. The biggest thing because of that is productivity, and so my productivity has been trash, honestly. But I struggle with that because I am a recovering perfectionist. I know that I can't control everything, but I like to control things. So for me, it's been the hardest to give myself grace, knowing that I'm learning, that I'm trying to get everything put together, find the facility, where are the gloves kept, where does this go, what does our ADL closet look like, where do we find soap and deodorant and all of those things, how do I finish an eval efficiently or timeline, does it need to be super detailed in this specific section, or does this section need to be shorter? So those are things that I forget take up time, especially when you're learning, and I just get mad at myself because I feel like I should be farther along. But then, you know, I also have to remember I'm new, I've only been here for 3 weeks, and just to give myself grace in that. So that I will say has been the most challenging part, and the part I'm still focusing on the most is to make sure that I get my productivity up to where it needs to be. Our facility standard is about 80-81%, which is actually super reasonable compared to some other facilities I've seen. So I like that they have reasonable expectations, that my boss is really good about, you know, not throwing me more than I can handle, but also still working with me to challenge me and push me to get me to that more full-time caseload. Our interdisciplinary team is really good about communicating needs, expectations, what they want. I've been trying to do a good job of introducing myself to the nurses and the CNAs and making friends with them so that they know, hey, I'm from rehab, I'm a new OT, I have this person today, I just wanted to, you know, let you know if you need anything, to talk to me, if you need help getting them up, if you need help with showers, or if, you know, if I can steal your shower from you, help you out so I can see it for therapy. Things like that. Those are really good relationships to build, I feel like, which I like to focus on the nursing staff and make sure that they know that I'm here to help them as much as I'm here to help the patients too. That would be my sweet husband's car that he is starting outside the window of our apartment. So if you hear that, I'm so sorry. Super fun. He's been working on it for like the past couple of days, playing around with who knows what, you know. I helped tighten something yesterday, which was fun. So but anyway, ignore that. But yeah, so overall, let's see, I wrote a little sticky note. My days vary, like I said. I think I typically probably have more hours than a normal PRN position would be, because we have a lower census and the lower, I don't want to say lower ability, but the higher ability is lower for full-time positions. So I do think I get more hours because of that. We'll see how that changes as census goes up, things with COVID change, if they end up hiring a new full-time position. But overall, I think the things I've learned so far is, one, I truly do love the geriatric population. I have always just been pretty sure that's where I wanted to be. And it's just reiterated every day when I get to sit and talk to an older gentleman and joke around about how, you know, talk shows are goofy or silly while we're working out doing Therex. Or I get to, you know, see a little old lady who lives by herself and wants to travel, tear up because she doesn't want to be there because she's kind of young. You know, and she had a knee replacement and she just wasn't doing so well going home to a mobile home by herself. So getting to see her walking around waving at people, you know, doing so good. I just really love their stories and their wisdom, and I think it's just such a fun way to be the hands and feet of Jesus, because literally some days I get on my knees and I wash these people's feet, and it's nothing so much to say about me and how great I am, but everything to say about how we can serve the older generation that went before us and kind of paved the way. And I think that's really special. It just reminds me every day that if and when I get that old, if I'm lucky, that I would have somebody that would take care of me and genuinely care about if my feet were clean, or if my socks are changed, or if I had a bath in the last few days, and getting it back to doing it more independently, which is what OT is all about. So I really was just reminded of that I do love geriatrics and I do love my job. I was also reminded as a recovering perfectionist that I do not have it all together, and that's okay. I am a new grad, I am a new hire. The facility is still getting to know me as I'm getting to know it, and that's okay. And my productivity stinks some days because some days I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm asking 50 questions, and I'm going here and there, and I'm learning where the sponges are, and the socks, and the sheets, and the where's this person's ice pack, and all the things. So like healthcare can be crazy. I just need to give myself grace, and I'm not always super good at that. So remember to give yourself grace. I'm preaching to the choir on that one. And just the third thing too is I would say, like, just remember your why. I think I came home one day and I was kind of discouraged. This was like last week, and I was sitting there thinking, is this really what I wanted to do? Like, did I really go to school for almost 3 years? Like, is just to do this? Is this really what I wanted? And I sat there and I remembered my why and why I started it. I wanted to help people. I want to make people more independent. I want people to like love the life they live and get to go back to it. I want people to remember their past times and get back to doing them if they can. If they're injured, know that that's not the end, that we still have so much we can do, that we can modify and adapt and restore. And so I really went back to kind of the ground level of why am I here in the first place? Why did I choose to do this? And so I would just say that I love geriatrics. Give yourself grace. And remember your why of why you started this journey, because soon enough, if you're a student, you're gonna be like me, starting a new position, and it may be super overwhelming. So just remember to go back to the beginning and why you started in the first place, because there's gonna be days where you're gonna be like, I don't think this is what I signed up for. And even if I just started a couple weeks ago, I'm gonna have those days for the rest of my career. It's never gonna be perfect, but it's always gonna be worth it. So that is kind of a little bit about what my current PRN skilled nursing facility role looks like. I actually accepted another one that's going to be very like spotty. So once a month or so when they need me, just like a normal PRN role would be. So I have not started that yet, but I'll let you know how it goes. It's like the opposite direction, but about the same distance from my house as this other one. So I'm excited to see a different facility, how different people do different things, and continue to keep growing as a new clinician. But for now, I'm signing off because this video is very long. I'm sorry about that. If you made it all the way in, good job. I commend you for that because it's long. So happy Tuesday, friends. Happy OT Tuesday. And coming up soon, OT month. So stay tuned for all the videos and fun stuff that's for that and all the ABCs of OT. Till next time. Bye.